Hello.
Hi,
Could you say your name for us?
my name is Sengsouvanh Sengdeuanepheng.
And um, to begin with, could you take us back to 1975, before the end of the war? Could you describe for us your life at that time?
At that time, I was living in Laos, my homeland in Laos, Vientiane, Laos, and I was living with my parents, and I went to school. I went to study at school. At that time, I went to go to the school they calling it called the superior de pedagogy, and then the moment they call like a university, national university of Laos.
And you were studying, you were training to be a teacher?
Yeah, the training about a teacher. Yeah.
So you were in your 20s at that time?
Yes, at 20 that time.
And did you have siblings?
I have siblings. I have 8 siblings, 2 sisters, and 6 brothers.
Older or younger than you?
They're younger than me. I'm oldest sister in my family.
And what did your parents do for a living?
My mom is the housewife, and my dad, my father, he was like a custom officer. Yes.
And how did your life change at the end of the war?
Of the end of the war, and yes, it's a big difference. You know, I was planning to leave the country because of the communists came to take over in the government of Laos. You know, so that's why we have to leave country.
How did things change around you when the communists took over the government?
And at that time when the communists came to take over in my country, we were decided to leave country to escape to the other freedom country.
So there was no freedom?
No freedom after the communists came to take over. The life has been changed, you know, and the system has to be changed a lot. That's why my family decided to keep secret to escape to the country.
When did you decide that?
After this several years, and we decide to leave the country. About 5 years.
What were those 5 years like for you?
I still studying. I finished graduate in 1978. 1978. I'm done. I'm graduate, and then also after that I went for I was a teacher at the junior high, junior high teacher. And after that, I decided to leave country in 1980.
By yourself or with your family?
By myself at the moment. Mm-hmm.
During those 5 years, before you left, your parents, your father, was he able to work?
Yes, he's still working at that time, but not as much, you know. So he almost in retirement already. So
your siblings were able to find work?
My sibling at that time, my second brother, he escaped in 1977 from Laos to Thailand, and he left an Nong Khai refugee camp in 1979. And the other brother, number 3, he escaped from Laos to Thailand in 1977 1977 as well. Pardon me, 1978, and living in Nong Khai refugee camp with my sister and my niece. And my brother, who living with me at the moment, he escaped before me, and live in Nong Khai refugee camp. And after that is myself to escape.
How did each of these siblings, how did they make their escape?
Okay, that situation different, escape different situation, right? So my second brother, next to me, he escaped with his wife. I'm not quite too sure because I didn't met him. And my number three, he escaped by using the banana tree wrapped out of his body to float on Mekong River. And yes, and my brother who living with me at the moment, he just with his friend go by the canoe, and my sister also, and my niece, he escaped by the canoe also, as same as I am. I escaped with my friend and with the canoe by the Mekong River.
Before I ask you to describe your escape, can you tell me again, how hard was your life?
Before or?
During those 5 years.
During 5 years, yes, very difficulty to that. I don't know what am I supposed to do. My life had to be like confusing myself, and if I escape, I gotta left something behind, like my parents and the other brothers, right? And out of sudden, I said, oh, no matter what, I have to escape to get the better life. So in order to pursue a better life, that's why I make a decision.
Because if you stayed, what was your life going to be like if you had stayed?
I imagine that if I have to stay, I don't know, my life could be getting worse or could be getting better. We don't know, but I make decision after that, so that's why I might take a second chance to move to different country,
So let's talk about your escape. What did you do? How did you escape?
Oh, I escaped by canoe. It was a very dangerous journey to travel by night in cover of the darkness, and also the gunshot around us on the Mekong River.
Vientiane is on the shores of the Mekong.
Yes.
On the other side is Thailand. And the river was what, a kilometer wide?
I think 1.5 kilometer. After that, by canoe is the canoe was leaking when I had that. And
how could you describe your canoe?
The canoe is not that big, like a canoe. They have paddle, no engine at all. They have paddle, but I don't know how to swim. I don't know how to paddle. Only two my friend of mine, but a young boy and my girlfriend, and the paddle. But the canoe was leaking a little bit. I don't know what to do. And then if they make the sounds, the soldier by the Mekong River, they might shoot us. So you have to keep quiet. And then I pray so hard to stay alive, right? And also I arrived from the other side of Laos to here to the other side of Thailand. And before I escape, and I am wearing, I was wearing a short to slide down to the river, and how do you call it, like a river bank, to get to the canoe. That time the mosquito bite me all over the place because nighttime, and the water was so very cold at nighttime.
Did you have to leave Vientiane to find the canoe, or was the canoe right in the city?
Yeah, the canoe on the Mekong River. The little boy, the young boy, and he get from his aunt. And my girlfriend and I asked him, "Do you mind if I coming with you?" He said, "Okay." And he said, "You have to pay me a little bit." And I said, "Okay, we don't have much money to escape." But he's so kind, the little boy. I we give him, my friend of mine and us, and me, pardon me, and me give him a little bit money to, a little, not that much, like a baht, the Thai baht, so, but he doesn't mind at all to be with him.
How young was this boy?
The young boy is around 17, I believe.
And
he know how to paddle this canoe.
Was he making an escape as well?
Yeah, he escaped as well.
And how did you know about him?
I know him, but friend of mine know him.
How did they know that he was escaping?
Because he had this secret to talk to him to escape from the Laos to Thailand. But without saying to anybody, because of very dangerous situation, right? So,
And his aunt had this canoe.
He's.
Did it have to be hidden somewhere, or how did he get onto this canoe without being detected?
Because I don't know more information from him, because he's scared to tell with more detail, right? He only think my friend of mine, like I say earlier, saying, if you want to come with us, because I know that young boy, we can escape with him, by taking his aunt's canoe.
And where did you meet him?
At that time before we left Laos, in June, I believe, I left Laos, I don't know exactly date, but I see in June in the summertime.
Did you have to travel outside of Vientiane to find him?
No, that he live in Vientiane too, not outside the country, but I am living in Vientiane, the capital, but he live outside, take about 15 or 20 minutes to by the center of Vientiane and to his place, He lived, he was living close to Mekong River at that time. That's why after that I asked him how, so that's why he told us about that, his story.
So please continue. You were in your shorts. You would climb down the riverbank.
Riverbank and slide down to the canoe. With very silence, and I wore the black because for making sure the soldier cannot see us. I was lucky. If the soldier by the soldiers see me at that time, I might got killed, I so slide down because I'm so upset, I'm so sad, I don't know what to do, and slide down to canoe quietly and go get in this canoe. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then what happened next?
And we go travel at night time. Go 3 of us, go travel by not making noise. And I have I have the empty container to be just in case. I sang in the Mekong River. I just say, they told me to hang on tight to get that
To stay afloat.
to stay afloat. Thank you. Yeah.
And then what happened?
And then we go in that night. We go in the small bush, to be hiding until next morning.
How long did it take for you to cross the river?
Take about, we going too slow, take about 25 minutes to go in small area to cover the bush, the bush of the trees. So many mosquito bite me, and then next morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, we get up the canoe and we walk out to the small town, and we got arrested with the Thai soldiers.
And then what?
And we got help from the soldiers, and until they find out my situation. And then we walking about almost mile or 2 miles from small town. We go in, keep walking, and the soldier asked me, where you guys going, where you guys came from, why you escaped to your country, right? They have so many questions from us. And then I told them we had to escape, and after that they realized that we were refugee. And when they understand my situation, and they figured out, I went to the prison before the process. We went to the prison, and then when they find out, before the process, and I live in there about 1 week for the prison, right? It's close to Nong Khai refugee camp. And when they have they process my situation, and they send me to the Nong Khai refugee camp, and after that.
Why did they put you into prison?
Normally, I think they have the rule, because we escape by not signing paper, nothing, by not paper anything. They know we escape because we was a refugee. They know that. They know, the soldiers know that. They understand, and they say okay. And until they ask so many questions: where they come from, where do you live, why you escape, explain everything for them. And then I say okay. Soon they understood everything, my situation. They say okay, you be in process, and then I gotta send you to the Nong Khai refugee camp.
So they did all that interview inside the prison?
And then the prison, they're interviewing you. And the first time I was in prison.
What was it like?
Oh no, it's terrible, it's horrible. Because, and you have the man and lady, we can see each other, right? And that one, I can hang on to that. I have to make it strong myself, that situation,
What do you mean, the man and lady you can see each
No, I mean like a room. We can see the room by not cover the wall. We have washrooms right there. And the same, I cannot even eat. I cannot even see that thing like that. It's a very difficulty, to no need to be there.
Stinky,
stinky, everything stinky,
dirty.
And then dirty. And when we want to go to bathroom, take a shower, the soldier come to open the door for us. I know that they put man and lady together, because the man in the room and lady is in the other room, but we can see each other,
No privacy.
No privacy at all. When they come to take a shower, it's the time to go to take a shower. They come to open, for example, 5 o'clock. You have to be rushed because not just us, right? You have to have 10 minutes, for example, and they come to open the door, come to get in the room. They have time you.
Was it crowded?
It's quite a bit crowded.
Just mostly refugees or Thai prisoners?
No, a Thai prisoner, that one.
So criminals?
The criminals, sometimes, yeah, because I believe they're doing their job because they have to ask, who are you, where you come from. That's, I can take that, I understand them too. Soon they understand what my situation is, say, okay, I will send you to the non-Thai refugee camp.
And you can speak Thai?
I do speak Thai. Actually, I could speak Lao, French, Thai, and English. Yeah.
So how did they take you to Nong Khai? By bus? By walking? By?
No, by bus, of course.
And what was the camp like?
Oh, the Nong Khai camp. The Nong Khai camp. It's a crowd. So many people. The crowd of people. Big Nong Khai camp, right? And then very, very huge people. People have different experiences, right? And also I said when I hit the Nong Khai camp, I met my brother and my sister. I feel more comfortable. They asked me, my brother and sister, he said, "Oh sister, I'm glad to see you. You're still alive." And yeah, that's fine. Happy to see them. But my second brother, I was so sad. I unable to see him. He left Nong Khai camp before me. Actually, yeah.
How long the sister and brother who were in camp? How long had they been there for?
Year and a half. The year and a half. Yes.
Were the conditions difficult?
Condition, of course, very difficult, but we can hang on to that, right? We have no choice to go anywhere else.
What about like places to sleep and
like
crowded?
The crowded because we stay in like a bedded hut. Because my cousin, before they left from the Nong Khai refugee Nong Khai camp, they pass on to cousin, pass on to nieces, pass on to nephew. You know, that's why I live in the bed and live in the hut. You know, most people live in the hut. They have no house. They build themselves. You know, so I was lucky a little bit. We stay in the same. I think my aunt and my uncle left for the cousin, for nephew and niece, you know. So that's why we living there. When we left from the country, left Nong Khai camp, you pass on to my cousin again. You come late, you know. So pass on to the other, you know.
So everybody had huts to live in?
Yeah, everyone have hut because in the refugee Nong Khai camp they don't have house. Some people have to build themselves. You buy living in no room, the washrooms outside, and the hut, you know. So when my place is very far from the washroom, my brother who living with me right now, he always took me to washroom, and so darkness, walking about 5 or 7 minutes to my place to washroom. Very, very difficult life in the camp too.
Was it dangerous to make that?
Yes, it is very, very, very dangerous.
What were the risks?
The risk in when you get on camp, you don't have to make yourself look good. You don't have to you brag yourself to that situation. You have to be humble. You be to be whatever you can stay longer, you know. So the reason why the people killing, stealing, the shooting sometime at night time because shooting, killing. If you're not like the friendly to them, some people good, some people bad, so. And then at that time I have a job too in the Thailand, in Nong Khai camp, Nong Khai refugee camp, by working at how do you call, in working at United Nations um, refugee officer at the representative, right? And I was interpreter to interview people come into Canada.
Just for Canada?
For Canada only. And for myself in Canada, I have several families to recognize me when I interview them in Canada. Sometimes they're so young that time, I cannot remember. They come to, oh, you recognize me. You was interview me to come to Canada. And some family in the Red Deer, some few family in Calgary, when we meet like a special event in Edmonton, they say, you recognize me, you remember me, that time you were so young, and then, oh, I say, yes, yeah, I remember, yeah. It's nice to know each other again, right?
Was that a volunteer job?
The volunteer job, actually, I working at the ambassador of Quebec in Bangkok, right? There, twice a month they come for interview people in the ambassador. Have you heard that before? Ambassador from Quebec, they're working in Bangkok. They come for interview twice a month, and I do some paperwork too. If they don't come for interview, people come to Canada. I do paperwork. People go to different countries, and like France and all over the place, United States, Belgium, everything. If people qualify to leave, it's a pass for interview, or some people get a hold with that. We do all the paper processing, who's going, who's cannot going. We have to stay longer in the camp, I helping them too.
No money?
They give them a little bit without asking because volunteer work, right? Instead for myself, I like it to working instead of sitting down in the camp. So boring, right? Every day, I have to walk, go to the office, and to learn from people. And the other side, the office, they learn from Thailand, from the office, United Nations. I learn from them, share the opinion, so that's why I working since when I came to the refugee camp until I escaped. Yeah.
How did you decide to come to Canada?
How I decide to Canada? Because I was working at the representative, working for helping people to come to Canada. I have a lot of opportunity to come so quick, as soon as possible, instead of to a different country. It's difficult to wait so long. I don't want to be waiting so long. I have to make decision right away, because to be accepted to the country, I have to make decision right away, come into Canada,
So you applied from the right away? You applied to Canada?
Yeah,
right
I
away?
don't have to apply at all. I just fill up the form because I was working with them, right? I work with them with Embassy Canada, and the Canadian Embassy. That's why even my brother who can live with me right now, they don't interview him at all. Just sign the paper and that come, because they gave me an opportunity without interview, just to fill out the form. So that's why as soon as I get on paper, I want to get out as soon as possible, instead of stay longer, like my brothers and my sister living in the camp so long.
And did those two people come to Canada too?
And yeah, only my brother living in here came with me.
What about your sister?
My sister, United States.
Why?
Because they came before me, they went to United States. Because they say, oh, my cousin always went to United States.
And at that point, when you got to go to Canada, they didn't want to change their application to Canada to come with you?
No. They make decisions stay over there. And my brother always with me since he was born. He never he never leave me since he was born until now. He's almost 60 years old, still a baby living with me, you know.
Is he the baby brother of the family?
The baby brother, no married, no. He's still a single man. You know, he's still, I cannot go anywhere, sister. I always with you. Oh, yes, that's why my story. Yeah, he's still living with me right now at the moment.
And how long did you stay in Nong Khai?
Only 5 months.
Compare.
Actually, be honest to you, if I would like to come, I would like to stay only 3 months. I allowed to come into Canada, but the situation very difficulty. I have to wait my brother, my sister, and my niece go before me, left before me. That's why I extended 2 months after before I left. I left Nong Khai camp with my brother.
Because you're the older sister.
The older sister.
You want to take care of them.
I want to, thank you. I would like to take care of them because they're so young, you know, 18, 20, 23, they're so young. Situation very difficulty to live in Nong Khai camp. And the food, not enough food, not enough water to take a shower, and only eat fish, dry fish with rice, no fresh vegetables, no fresh fruit. Very difficulty to have that one.
Could you leave camp? Could you go to the market right in the village?
Yeah, good question. No, we are not allowed to leave that one. For myself, I got permission because they allow me to go with the interviewer, with the Canadian embassy, but not always, you know. When once a little while, they say, oh, maybe go outside to see after we finish the job, for example, on the weekend, you know, but not lately. Well, when we go to camp, we don't get permission to go socialize outside the city. It's a big no. No, because we were refugee, right? We were refugee.
Was it close to a city? Was it close to a town?
Nong Khai camp? Not exactly, because you know, Nong Khai camp is outside the city, because the big camp, very big camp, many people, people go for interview for different many countries, you know. Yeah.
Is it in a jungle or you know, plains or
no,
farmland?
not very jungle. No, it's they're doing the build up for refugee camp at that time, at the moment, you know, because they know so many Lao refugee escape from the Laos to the Thailand, you know. At that moment, they just built for the refugees, I believe.
So in the landscape around the camp, what do I see? I see farmland? Do I see?
Probably in the farmland and outside of city, you know, and the fields, something like that. Yeah. So
before we continue on with your story, can we jump back to when your brother made escape with a banana tree?
Banana tree to make you know, they made out of banana tree. They cut. I don't know exactly what he did, but he told me the story. He cut the tree to wrap up, to hold his body, to float to next side to Thailand.
He tied it around his
He
body?
tied around his body. The reason why he could sing in the Mekong River. And that time he said very, he was so lucky. He had cramp on his cramp. He so tried to do that. And he told me, sister, you're so lucky to see me. He robbing 3 friends came with him. And he doesn't know what the other 2 friends, they're still alive or not. Until now, he doesn't know. Only him.
They went together?
They went together at the first place.
And only he made it
Only
to shore?
he made, but he doesn't know how he made 2 of his friends make it or no. He doesn't know. And only him, he tries to survive by himself, by rapping, swimming from Laos Mekong River to the Thailand, the other.
Also at night?
At night time, we cannot escape at light. At the daytime, when the soldiers see you, they shoot you no matter what.
So, at night time then, are there patrols?
They have patrol too. That's why the soldier, if they see people, they could shoot you no matter what. They don't want you to escape from the country to the other country. That's very dangerous journey to escape. Yeah, and with the darkness, and by the gunshot, and the gunshot around us over Mekong River.
Very cold water too.
The very cold, of course, the very cold water. I pray so hard. To be survived.
So,
I was terrified too, sorry, yeah.
You were terrified?
Oh, of course.
So, when you were accepted to go to Canada, how was it decided that you would come to Edmonton? Did you come to Edmonton?
At the first time, we stopped, my brother and I stopped in Long Point, outside of Montreal, right? We spent there for 3 days. How do you call with our refugee dormitory? They have that one. We will spend there for 3 days. And then also the counselor or the government over there come for interview us. And then they give us the options. You want to go to stay in at Montreal, the Quebec, or you want to go to Edmonton. In Edmonton, they can speak 2 languages. And my brother and I make decision. I say, okay, maybe we go to Edmonton because the oil city, right? And maybe the best economy. That's why we make decision. Or maybe I told my brother maybe we can get an opportunity to live in there because that time in 1980 is the booming, right? The oil city. That's what I thought. And then at that time maybe the booming. I say, oh okay, I might go to Edmonton. Maybe some parts speak English and they speak in French too, right? Yes, that's why I made decision. But now I'm here. Edmonton, in Edmonton at the time.
What were your first impressions of Edmonton?
Impression, I was excited to be here, to be the new city, big country, That was impression. I say my life's been changed. Compare Laos and here, the first impression, I say, oh, we stay here in a good life. So, and then I say, oh, okay, that's why the first impression when we come to big city, come to see different thing and see the snowing. At that time it is snowing so much, right? In November, oh my goodness, I never ever seen the snow in my whole life. It could be impression too. I never see the snow in my whole life, so yeah.
And did you have a sponsor?
No, the government sponsored us.
So in your first few days and first few weeks, did you receive any help from a government representative or a settlement service agency?
Yes. When I first arrived to Edmonton, we stayed in Pan Am Motel by the Kingsway Garden Mall. But now it's no more the destroy. But now it's a Moxie restaurant. Let the play that place. And the few days, when we were staying in the Pan Am Motel, my brother and I, we have counselor, and I can remember his name. He's a Vietnamese Mr. Bao, to helping us, and came to Pan Am Motel, come to take us to go to Manpower, and very easy for him and I to communicate, because he spoke French, I spoke French, right? He took us to Manpower to be registered at Manpower. They don't have any more at the moment, Manpower. And it took me to have done for my paperwork and to get settled and find out the apartment for us, for two of us. Only one bedroom for two people, and in downtown. So my brother stay outside, make some bedroom, and I stay inside.
And how old were you at this time?
I'm 27 years old, almost 27.
And your brother?
20 years old, I remember.
And this was 1980?
1980. Okay. And may I ask more else? I wonder why they give us, two of my brother, only one bedroom. But like I said, my brother stay outside and I stay inside. By the counselor, he was helping me to get that. Took me to looking for a job, but the job that I like, I don't have any skill, right? So that's why.
Were you offered a chance to study English or French?
Yes, I took some French class on a faculty sanction. My faculty sanction, right? When I came, and also I went for study at English as second language.
And your brother
courses,
as well?
And my brother, for ESL for him. And then I went for school for upgrading at Alberta College. And also I took the program employment for the program, to how to looking for the job, how to present yourself. I took that class too. Whatever they're offering me, I took it no matter what. I like to be like learning from different people. And also I went for get the Childcare development, for get the certificate to get the job.
Was the ESL training, was that free?
At the time, yes, but nighttime they have to pay for it. At nighttime I pay for it, and the daytime they're for free. At that time I took the class before they call ABC school, but now to Northwest College, right? And that time it's a free, because they know we are a refugee, we have no income, we have the free time. But the night time I took with my brother an ESL at night, 2 or 3 times per night, and at the high school composite at night time.
So you took the free course in the daytime, and then you also paid to
pay not that much at the time.
But you also paid to do
Pay
nighttime.
to do at night time.
So you wanted to do extra.
I want to learn extra, do extra, yeah.
And how long did it take for you to get the childcare development training? Did you pay for that as well?
No, the government paid me. Yeah.
So all of this was in the first year?
No, after that. Before that, I have to several job, several job to survive, right? Have several job by um, uh, supervise and I supervise retail and food services and like cook and then go for the training for childcare development qualification certificate and I got a job at right now they call One World One Center for like immigrant for the children immigrant children for newcomers and immigrants. I work there, but still having now what they call One World One Center. Mm.
So you that was the first job that you found as soon as you finished your childcare development?
No, before I had a variety job as a position, and after that I make decision. Okay, or maybe I go for training for childcare development qualification certificate. So.
And that was the job that you got with that?
Yeah, the last one. The last one, yeah.
And it lasted you for how many years?
Which one? For job that one, about 6 almost 7 years. The childcare development for the new children, the newcomers of children, and immigrants children.
Mm. And how long did it take for you to get your first job?
First job, I'll be honest to you. When I came to Canada, I have the job and the catering company. And that time the salary, the rate only $4.75.
But how long did it take for you to find that job?
Oh, how long? Because a friend of mine, the one who came first, they work in there, and they give me a job. They introduced to their boss to give me a job, right? To give me a job.
And how long did it take? When was that?
When was that? 1980.
How long had you been in Canada?
I just came into Canada, right? I came into Canada in 1980, and take about few months, several months. Then my friend of mine, I work there. I will give a job for be making money, So that's why it's several months, and I got a job, the catering order, and they call the Grammarlies for the catering order. Whatever do the cater, sandwiches tray, cheese trays, meat trays, whoever order, I'm the one who making like the preparation cook, I believe, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So to continue, first you got your first job about a few months after you came to Edmonton with the help of your friend, and after that were other jobs like light cook and retail, variety.
Yeah, variety position, and then after that, years and year, I work at the light cook at the casino. At that time, I have the retail, working at the Western Mall by retail, doing selling clothing like a leather jacket, leather stuff like that. And I'm still working. Time to time, I have working at the other casino, like cook as well with the chef, helping chef to do prep food and learn from the chef how to cook properly. And then actually enjoy cooking, that's why I get a job.
But you didn't want to go training as a cook?
I didn't take a course. I'm a fast learner for cooking. The chef next to him, I saw him bang. That one. I enjoy cooking, right? So that's why. And later on, I say, soon I have many variety. And also, I working at a coffee shop and Lister Hall for selling food for students, a professor, right? Soon I have more experience. That's why I said food retail. uh, they put me on the spot to running by myself, for chaos by myself, to be supervisor manager myself, to doing selling things for professors and the students, at the Badadong Free building.
And what about your brother? What kind of work did he find?
At the beginning, he worked at Swiss Chalet when he first came, and then after that he went to work with the CP distributor as a welder. Until now he's still working there. So
He had kept the same job for.
it's the same job for a long, long time. I remember he's working at the Swiss Chalet restaurant for a few years, right? And then my husband offering him a job because as CP distributor and welder. And that time my husband, he was training by my husband to be the welder, So until now he's still working there.
And you met your husband?
I met my husband in Edmonton, Canada, here in Edmonton, Alberta. I met him here.
And after you worked for 7 years for the children's programming at the center for newcomers.
Yeah, I working there for almost
7 years.
Almost 7 years.
Almost 7 years. After that, what was your career after that?
My career after that, I got a car accident. I got no position. The position been filled. So I have no job after that. And then now I'm retired. I enjoy retirement. So and also I was helping the community, like right now helping community, like helping the temple, and also helping the Lao Canadian senior community as well. Lao Canadian Senior Club. That's what I do at the moment.
And you had 2 children.
I have 2 beautiful daughters, and I have lovely 3 grandchildren. Mm-hmm.
And your husband stayed in welding, is he?
Actually, from before until now, before he was welding, but now he is shop foreman in that company. Yeah.
In the same company.
The same company.
So he also had very stable job.
He's stable job. He working in the office right now for to do paperwork, paperwork as So that's why. Yeah. Mm-hmm. From welder and to promote and to work in the office. Mm-hmm.
So, looking back, what were the obstacles and struggles that you faced at the beginning?
Oh, that's good question. The language barrier, so very difficulty for me. I could not speak English at all. I know how to speak yes and no. But the good thing, the counselor helping me to go somewhere, they translate to me in English into France, to French speaking. That's why I understand better, The reason why I'm able to do it, because my brother could not bear to speak English at all. But I'm still lucky to speak English. We can understand, and then with my counselor, I can communicate very well. And the counselor from Manpower, they can understand me. What do I need? What do I have to be done? That's why from the counselor, like I told you earlier, the Vietnamese, he's very nice. Translate in English to French to me. Very awesome him. Mm-hmm.
And what do you think helped you in your integration?
What didn't help me, meaning like
what made things easy?
In Canada here, make me easy, meaning like people are very friendly, very very friendly, very helpful, to helping each other. Do not like snob, You know, that's why very good. I'm so impressed with Canadian people. Very awesome. You know, if you need help, they'll always be there for you, right? For no matter what, they're always helping you. Like especially when I came to Canada, when I work in the Canadian, you know, and they say, oh, you need help. My English is not quite good, so please help. They'll always be there for me. They explain, you know, no matter what, they will help me so much. I'm I'm so proud Canadian to be helpful for me. That make me more comfortable, you know, to be living. Mm.
And how long did it take before you felt at home in Canada?
Um, take about 2 years until I got. I have Canadian citizenship. Take about too long, right? 3 years. When I came in first, that's kind of struggle. After I have Canadian citizenship paper, for then I'm here in Canada, in Edmonton, Canada. So I'm so happy at that one. Took me about 3 years to be more comfortable, very comfortable.
How do you feel about the life that you and your family has created in Canada?
Uh, m- my family.
How do you feel about the life that you've made here?
Um, my life make me easier right now. You know, instead of before. Before very difficulty, but right now easier, because the more longer you have here, the more easier I have. Yeah, and my brother say the same thing. The more longer I stay here, like a hometown, right? Like homeland here, because we've been here for so long. It seems like, oh, I live. We living here. They have life already. You know, that's why make me easier to go on, to go on and on. You know, so.
And is it just you and your brother here in Edmonton?
Yes.
You didn't sponsor anybody else?
No, the government sponsored us. That's why when it came to Canada, only my brother and I, very sad, very homesick. And then I didn't know nobody so much when you first came, right? So, and then and after year and year, we know the friends around us, we know the neighbor only not come the same country, right? Very difficult for us. And soon, year to year, year after year, I know friends, we have community, society, and we met each other. That's why we know each other and make me more comfortable when we see Laotian people to came the same situation, you know. Mm-hmm.
And what do you think about Canada's humanitarian response to the refugee crisis?
I believe that Canada is doing a good job, very good job for the humanitarian and the crisis, and of course, no, they cannot accept anyone to come into Canada, right? But they try the best what they can do. That's I believe that Canada is doing a very good job.
Do you talk about your experiences with your children, with the next generation?
Yes, I talk to them about that, and I say in order that that's I told them you guys so lucky to have with the full amount of freedoms. You know, that's what I told them. So and then at the current they have today. That's why they're so lucky to have so much freedom, because both of them born here. You know, so that's why not. I told them all the time, do not forget whatever mom and dad came from and uncle came from. So and then, you know, when she read over my questions, my answer, it brought her to tears, you know. So that's why I told them all the time, you guys so lucky, they're born here, they get education to continue, you know. So Yeah, that's why I give them an opinion to share with them. Yeah.
What can future generations of Canadians learn from your personal experience and from Canada's refugee program?
And I can share with them, tell them about my experience in refugee and became in the Canadian citizenship, how big different, how how the different of the situation from the refugee people and became in the Canadian citizenship, became a Canadian. I can tell them, um, I can tell them about the situation from before and situation in here totally different. So I can tell them, I can share them. I want to be the Canadian citizenship, I can live longer. Right now, I like a hometown to live in Canada, in Edmonton, Canada,
And what kind of lessons can they learn from that?
Learn from the cultures.
Learn from you.
Learn from, or learn.
The children, what can they learn from you from your experience?
Oh, from experience, I told them to do not forget mother tongue. That's very important. Mother tongue, very important. No matter what, you were born here, please tell the children and try to work hard for me. When they came into Canada, I always work hard and be humble. That's my first. I taught her. I give them option. So be humble, work hard, get more education if you could. The education never ends, no matter what, how old you are. You have to keep continue if you could. For mom and dad, and I don't have any too much knowledge, but I have more experience, maybe more than you guys did. So I told her, be humble, continue education if you could, and don't forget the mother tongue. And we struggle so hard to be a better life. That's why I keep telling all the time to them. So that's my point of view to do that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Inviting
me. Thank you.
We really appreciate your sharing your story.
Thank you so much. One thing I would like to add. In Canada, we were accepted with open arms, and Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, he did just a wonderful job of allow us to start a new life in Canada. Now we are still, thank you, Mr. Pierre Trudeau. I know he's not longer living here, but we still say thankful for him for that opportunity to us to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.